Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have buffed Jarvan Jungle, who is now OP Jarvan Jungle, one of the best Jarvan junglers and also just general junglers. In fact, he's so good that he is about to receive nerfs. Those nerfs will not take away his power though, don't worry. If you are a Jarvan player who's saying, hey, cool, I can finally play my champion again. You know, King Nidug's going crazy with his top lane builds and he's excited and so on, because he's on the cusp, really. The champion was, you know, what he's about to do here, you could always do. That shield duration shift, okay, obviously the shield is up less, but the cooldown is 1 second lower. Given that AD ratio buff and increasing it overall, that's going to be really nice when you do build some AD. Now, this little invade here onto this H1, who's got leashed on the bottom side, don't flash. If you're gonna die, just die. Now, at the same time, is me losing my flash for him losing his flash worthy of, is it a good trade in a ganking meta? Probably, but at the same time, you know, I'd still not want to lose my flash Q as Seshwani. We have here the bottom lane going in and losing 2v2 straight up, but Virkayu.gg's comprehensive courses will give you all of the up-to-date information you need to climb on your MMR. This is all in addition to our powerful one-on-one coaching and access to the coaching VOD library. And for those of you who want to escape the elo that you're in, because obviously, let's face it, you want the next step, the Jungle Improvement PDF has been released on my site for absolute free. 37 pages of jungle terminology, exercises, and tips to help you carry, win, and climb, take your potential and convert it into reality. A hero arrives with no flash now, so maybe making my point about this H1, but maybe we can, yeah, actually, you know what? It actually ended up working out pretty good, and he actually just ends up straight up hinting. Well, you can't make this stuff up. So here it actually does waste his flash and cause him to essentially die and not be able to get the kill on the Samira. So, you know, the Seshwani's decision proves to be good, but we don't results base it. However, I know it's instinctive. Hey, I'm being attacked, let me flash. Maybe I can fake him out and go in different directions. So let's ignore that, move on. Jarvan overall, super strong champion. Doing very, very well with a variety of builds. However, I like this game because it has a juicy build. A build that if you are smurfing, will allow you to straight up control every single game in your chosen MMR. Now, what we do is we see the Seshwani top lane, 12 CS. We know she did 2 here. That means she's done 1 there because she has red buff. We see here the Nivea, who was already pre-chunked as we tried the level 2 gank. She comes back into the lane. Now she is birdless and lifeless and gets, whoa, that's really an awful death animation. She really just crumbles into 1,000 pieces. I'd much rather be dusted like Volibear. He gets Thanos dusted, really. Now the Seshwani here is obviously ganked on the top side, gone back into a jungle, and the downside of the ganking meta is that when you make a ganking commitment, and you know the enemy jungle is going to be pathing in that direction, here we go, finally we get level 3, we finally get to use our shield auto attack, one more auto attack. This is an unlucky Jarvan. This is so close. You know, that red buff being lost on the bottom side, that really sucks. Maybe we can go in for it, but obviously Silas will have his W though. Do we commit fully? I'm a little bit concerned about the overall commitment here. Silas? I mean, he didn't want to EQ because obviously the W. So now we're playing with fire just a little bit, I think. Oh, there's the Seshwani. Now we have Q up, obviously, in 1 point so seconds. It is up. Nivea will be coming back from base. There she is. Now we're going to die again from the... Okay. This is a funny game. Thank you, Krugs. Thank you, Nivea Wall. Lux is rotating to the top side. What is going on? But this is the meta. This is the meta, and this is why he's good, because what does Jarvan do very well? Ask yourself this, and answer yourself that. He does this very well, which is level 2 ganks, invades, cheeses, thriving on level 2 more than almost any other jungler. That shield is really just a bonus at this particular stage. Free gank, free invade, free gank, free gank, free invade, always perma. He's 3-1-0. Who cares about CS when you can kill everything? And that's what he's good at. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, well, that's the video. Now, you see, the thing is, in this meta, and I'm going to be doing a bit more of a video on this in the main channel for the end of the week. This kind of stuff, 8 CS 4-1-0, there was a Jarvan against me. And what I did was I saw him do this. He does this ganks bottom lane. I started red Krugs Raptors with the intent of cutting down. I see this and I go, classically, I should go steal his blue grump, ward, take the scuttle, and, you know, go back to base. Which is, of course, what I do. He shows up on the ward here going, huh? Where's my stuff? Because no one expects you to have the goal to counter jungle now, and it still was huge. Guess what the ward does? Shows us he's going down here. Now, smart Jarvan is probably going to take this and cut in and take this outside crab first before I get there, which is what he did. But I know that he's now going to have these 2 camps available and gank bottom lane, which he does. But I'm right here, so I counter gank it, and thus he is screwed. But it didn't matter, because the kill experience and kill catch-up experience is so damn good. It's not even the farming. It's just so much, there's just so much experience in lane, in ganks, in kills, and CS. even with a reduction on the jungle item, that it doesn't matter what you do. Therefore, make sure you're getting your treat snacks, okay, taking those, and then go ganking, go fisting, go fighting. Don't be afraid to rotate to the plays. And Jarvan loves this chaos because he's an earlier jungler, an early to mid-gaming jungler. He will be able to thrive against champions that don't have the same power curve. And obviously that's a lot of champions because he's historically been pretty damn good. Lux is pushing up. We see the Nautilus go up, and now I'm concerned about the Sejuani and the Nautilus doing a gangbang on the mid lane, or potentially sitting here chilling, waiting for the Jarvan to do a lane gank. Let's see where they go. We see the pings are probably going there. Jarvan says, you know, which is going on, and Nautilus goes to the mid lane. We root the Lux. The ult's nothing but space and time, who then gets walled and sucked. Jarvan is now saying, oh, I will invest my time into this lane. Well, that wasn't the best thing I've ever seen in my life. But hey, The Last of Us, he was going to pop off, and that's the whole point of this video, is to showcase you how ridiculous this meta can be, and how ridiculous it is, and how a little bit unskilled it is when you make the wrong reads, and it just doesn't damn well matter, because there's no experience in just AFK farming anymore. Now, obviously, at this point, chilling, ganking angles, vision control, all of these things are good things, but they just go straight up into 3v3, knowing the Jarvan's here. So Jarvan just moves into the bush, sits there, does a beautiful 3-man E-through combo, and kills everybody and says, cool, now we can do the dragon. You know, you're looking for skirmishing, you're looking for fighting, and you want to use your mobility, which obviously this is a decent cooldown, but at the same time, you know, you're just moving and sitting in bushes the whole time. It's really... Silas top lane, though, I wouldn't do that. A little bit of a bait, I think. Even in the jungle, it's super good and juicy, but you have to know how to use it and know how to snowball correctly. Play like this, basically. But Jarvan, yeah, I like this. Red buff into pressure, into invade. Super enjoyed seeing that. The Sejuani actually does a good job forcing the flash, as we saw. She wouldn't have known that was going to occur, obviously, but it was just instinctive to try and save herself. Overall, it did work out. Jarvan still gets the objective here. They're all chasing down our Lux, they're chasing down our Rumble. There's nothing we can do about this. What we can do about this is say, hey, maybe I can steal this, but Samira is here, level 6, we're level 5. We are severely experience compromised, but we're only down 7 TS. Literally, excuse me, I hit the microphone. The Sejuani's got 2 camps extra than us. After all of this fisting and all of this randomness, she has 2 camps extra. Unbelievable, but most likely she goes and snacks this, which we know. So why even bother going to the top side again? Let's just go get 6 from our red, which will help us kill, you know, some beautiful bot laners once more. Or we could go and kill Anivia, no bird, no mana. Yeah, but she's most likely going to be backing off. So don't kind of put yourself in a position to do something about it, but this is a lazy back. I don't really like to guarantee the lazy backs. If you're in a lower MMR, most likely this is a lazy back, but at the same time, the investment, right? I leave, I go here, there's nothing, I show, I'm not 6, I'm not going to go back to this. I'd much rather get the 6, then make that active decision of going bottom lane, especially with no summons, right? There should be a free EQ dunk. Boom! That shield was mighty big. Just want to highlight that as well. That was a pretty big shield for the Eclipse. Increased to 14, scaling with HP on each champion hit. I hit 1 champion, but my shield, because of the Eclipse, is huge. I love the aggressive snowball here. I'm Jarvan. I did a level 2, a lot of fighting early, got 4 free kills at ATS, who cares? We see someone here. It's the Nivea, obviously it's the bird. Don't get caught out. We did go the EQ, so now we have to run away. I mean, proximal, I was here. I deserve the plate money, cash, gold. Yes? Okay, cool. And off we go again. So it's really... You know, for lack of a better word, there is just no nuance to this. It's like, I'm going to go and take a camp, get a level, and then hang around in the lane. I've got 1 treat stacked up here. Okay, cool. So next time I farm, I'll get the free gold. They're really going to fall for this again, though. There we go. Ult in 51, so we don't have it this time. So we're just going to dash through us this. This is Sejuani Pig. Although at this point, it's like call an ambulance, but for the Jarvan. The Samira really doing a good job. The Lux shows up here, a nice rotational spell. The Jarvans are cutting this wave. Oof, easy dodge at this particular moment. This is Sejuani. We EQ, double EQ, very, very nice. The shield is huge. We are more squishy on the Eclipse. That's why you will stereotypically see the Gold Drinker, the Black Cleaver, your Morve Mortius, your GA. Maybe you want to go tankier if you wanted Stoneplate. Stoneplate. On Jarvan, Stoneplate. Super good item. Even with this weird-ass build, on certain champions, I've gone Stoneplate. It's not good necessarily, but it's good if you catch my meaning. Just super nice to have that extra shield when you're trapping people in with you, especially when you're trapping a red team with you and you're kind of laying it out for your team, and you kind of just, let's all join together in the crater, but I'm going to press my W, and then I'm going to have my stone plate as well, which means I'm not going to die, but you guys will. That's the kind of logic behind it. But at the same time, this build in particular, the Eclipse into Black Cleaver, I like it. I do like it. We have here the Sejuani now, level 6. You're probably wondering, so what does the Sejuani do in the situation? The best thing you can do is either counter gank and gank appropriately in another lane, or, and that shield keeps getting bigger. Nice dunk, Lux ult, trapped, dead. Really, the champion, when he's able to hit the EQ on someone without a dash or flash, dunk them with the ultimate, and they can go nowhere, and he is fed, there's just so much damage. And I love it when he gets so fed, he doesn't hesitate to go straight into lethality to maximize giga results. Now, again, no Omnivamp anymore, all right, on this itemization choice. But we have more AD, which is fine, because we want that burst proc, which is kind of what we're looking for when we go with this. Obviously, the auto attack's amplified with our flag passive there, so more bonks, more ADs, always good. Sejuani shows bottom lane here, no real objective on the map. The dragon will be spawning. What does the Sejuani do against this? Firstly, if I'm against a Jarvan, I want to make his decision to invade me be something that compromises him. So I would probably look to do your red, wolves, blue into the bottom lane gank at level 3 with a ward on this at about 1 minute, because people are still not expecting that clear. You could also red Raptors Grumpet if you wanted to level 3 gank bottom lane. I know Sejuani typically likes to full clear, but I would like to create some sort of clear that allows me to move parallel to the Jarvan, shadows him to some degree, and allows me to be present when he commits. I don't want to be the one he commits on, you know, with his EQ, especially early, but I want to be there to punish him when he does arrive. So I would try and shadow this. And if he decides to go for this, you know, I'll be on the wolves, I'll be here, my bot lane hopefully rotates, especially in this elo. Could be interesting. But at the same time, if we lose this, it's okay, because the Grump will give me 3. So at least I'm in the area. Whereas you could just go red Krugs Raptors, you see this, you're like, okay, now I can cut through. You could also collapse on this. So you do have options for clears. I just don't want to be in a position where I'm leashed on the same side that he has as red, because that's very typical that they just EQ and invade you. Now, if you played in Season 8, you damn well know what I mean. He would take his red, EQ over, and just kill you, and then he would take the scuttle and gank your bottom lane, and then run mid lane, gank your mid lane, take this scuttle, gank your mid lane again. If you thought ganking was bad now, the original scuttle meta, when that stupid little monster was first buffed into this disgusting thing that it became, that's what would happen. That's why Camille was so damn good, Jarvan was so damn good, Xinjiao was so damn good, Talia was good as well. It was just such an obnoxious meta to be in. But I think if you've played from those times, you kind of expect Jarvan to do what he did this game. If you didn't, you wouldn't even know it, which is fascinating, because he's been so sort of out of the meta almost ever, you know, in modern times. Thus, people don't really understand what he does in terms of pressure. That was a glorious dunk, and I love it. I absolutely love what he just did there. Did you see that? Most of the time, people will do the EQ, they do the dunkings, right? Cool. But in this case, they grouped up, so they said, let me immediately use that for the crater, and then if I don't want to be trapped inside, or I just want to get the double knockup, I can EQ after I ult. And I love it when they try and do that. Of course, the Silas then ulted us, but I love that we can kind of look at both sort of perspectives. It's not really like something super complicated. It just means we're thinking about the game and stacking our CC, and we're seeing that there's an opportunity to hit that crater on 2 targets to trap them, and then we can knock them up to keep them there, and our team can dish out the damage, the Zaire in this case, because we've spam ganked it and fed them. And this is one again, she's only up a few cams. If she was playing it properly or classically, she would most likely, we don't have flash. I was going to say if we have an EQ, maybe we could do like a flash interaction, but we don't, and obviously Sejuani's not shadowing. Although we're just going to go over the wall here. I mean, that's the other ward, yeah. That triggers me a little bit in replays. I wish I could see exactly what it is. So we're waiting. Sejuani was basing. We're kind of hoping that she got that off. The owner shows up. We do have EQ. Nautilus will have his hooks. But we'll just go in here. She has egg. We'll just kill the egg. Off you go. Goodbye. Yeah, it's really interesting to see how strong he is and how he's actually been. But you just add that shield for sustain and it gives people so much confidence. I think having confidence to be able to say, hey, I can make this play and survive. I can build classical items, the modern items at least, for fighters and survive. I like that idea of just, you know, we're gonna give you that 80 bonus AD. Here you go, so, you know, like it's a nice, what are we at now, 160? Increase to 23 for each champion hit. Yeah, and of course Black Cleaver does a lot of good stuff as well. Wonder what we'll go next. Oh, I know what we go next, don't we? We go Axiom Arc, obviously. I remember, that's why I picked this one, because I thought, what happens in the game that allows him to snowball to the degree he's just like, let me just dunk people? And I think the fact that they have a Samira, They have a Silas. If we can bait out their mobility and we can position them inside the crater, then it's going to be really, really huge. Guys, you just die if you do that. So they just walk in. Jarvan says, I'm going to kill you, then EQ out, trap you in for a little bit, wait for the Leona to show up. She shows up, we get the chain stun. Zamir's going to try to go in here. We get interrupted on that EQ flag, but Lux rotates again. Side screen laser shot. We're going to get that kill on the pig. Another chain CC, another double kill. CC, 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 hit the flag, CC, hit the flag. EQ perma. It's a lot of damage. What are we at now? Damage dealt 646. Actually, less than I thought. And obviously the big shield. Yeah, I understand it's also from the Eclipse. That's shields. Replace S at any particular point where you saw them all stack up together, which is kind of the point of shields. And CC. Stacking. It's a good idea. The Lux will shove. We'll give her this blue. I think she deserves it. She's done a good job. And again, this is all from early pressure. If they never pushed in, we get that gank for sure. But instead of saying, oh, I couldn't get the level 2 gank, we go, well, I know Sejuani's leashed here. I'm just going to go into this. Cool. And we did that. Then we died. Then we went up here. Then we made plays. So that was fun. Right. Do we have Axiom Arc yet? Nope. But we do have a Dirk. So rated Dirk. Even more damage is incoming, but this is just 50, 430. Why did it was good, and then they were like, it needs to be better. We need to buff it more. We're gonna nerf other fighters items, and we're gonna buff this one. No one's complaining. Like, fighters are not complaining. I mean, yeah, they took away some things, but then you look at the back cleave and you're like, okay, worthy trade. Here we go. We're just gonna go to 4 people now, so we hit a really juicy EQ again. We hit the ult, but again, the downside is we are, of course, significantly more squishy without the Gore Drinker sustain, but at the same time, that is also nerfed. So, you know, who cares? Might as well go Eclipse. Also, no sustain in the Eclipse either. Now we get ulted by the Silas, but, yeah, Jarvan's from Demacia. So, lore implications, I think, as Jarvan shuts him down. The revolution has not begun. Kills them, basically kills them all. I love the confidence of saying, I'm 2 enough items. I have my W. On a lower cooldown. I'm really far ahead. I have lockdown. I have flash. And he just goes in. Beautiful. Good Jarvan, or at least aggressive Jarvan, is fun. Not always good this game. This was just kind of like, hey, can I smurf on people? Immerse it here. If you play like this, I guarantee you in lower elos, you're probably going to have a lot of success because the Sejuani didn't know how to keep herself relevant in the game. Either through counter ganking, through farming, through counter jungling, through opposite objectives. She just lacked the agency, and her pathing earlier was a little whack here, you know? And the Jarvan punished her for it. But if you go to Platinum, you go to Diamond, you go to Gold, and you start doing this, you think they're going to know what to do. If a Master Tier Pig is not going to know what to do, no, they're not going to know what to do. So they're just going to be watching you, ganking, your lanes are getting tilted, the Jarvan's getting fed of it when you're the Jarvan, right? All the power belong to you, or are belong to you. Herald taken, 2 dragons taken, huge gold lead, but the pressure was kept up. And yes, our CS is not as high as it would be in the past, but at the same time, it's definitely respectable. Rumble not really playing the game. Sejuani not really playing the game. Silas not really playing the game. But that's what ganking every lane does, and that's why I like this. We camped bottom lane, but we did impact mid, and we definitely impacted top lane. The hitbox on that spell, Leona into Jarvan, into Dunkings, into being trapped within the trap. You're in here with me. No, you're in here with me. No, you're in here with me. Walls and craters, everybody. Easy. The amount of multiple target EQs he's hit, right? While also having that shield proc, it's really good. See, obviously we maxing it last, so this is an important concept for these kinds of spells. When they have some sort of scaling, like they have base scaling, right? What is it, 80 to 140, 60 to 140? You know, that's fine. But if you max it last, it's basically if that spell is useless, right? It's not going to grow as the game goes on. Give it an AD ratio. You give it something an AP ratio, something that even though you max it last scales with atomization, the ability still gets stronger as the game goes on, even if you're not putting points into it. Once you put points into it finally, then it becomes even stronger. But typically the last abilities we max, we still want them to be to have some sort of scaling to make it useful from our itemization. And in this case, that kind of, here you go, is really nice, that 80% AD ratio. And we have Axiom Arc now, so let's 703. 543. Yeah, we don't talk about that enough though. You know, I always talk about it when I'm coaching, but never in the gameplay reviews with Jarvan, with the Q shredding armor. You know, we've got the armor removal, I guess, shredding, and then obviously the Black Cleaver as well. Plus the lethality. You know, the percentage here, plus the flat lethality, that's a lot of burst damage, even with Conqueror, that stacks up very, very quickly. And they just say, you know what? Get me out. I'm done. This is a bit of a fun game, but definitely something that showcases to you the craziness of the meta. How you can have 8 CS and 4 kills. 8 CS, 4 kills, you can have 1 scuttle. You're not really thinking at all about sequencing. You're just looking to fight and fist and get the kill experience and catch-up experience. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the changes that are coming. But if you're Jarvan, I still like early ganks. I still like ganking metas. You can still 3-camp into action. You can still red buff into invade if they start on that same side. Look to be aggressive with the champion. Control the Rivers. And as you can see, the damage profile that you dish out, pretty good. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.